Okay, I have here opened up my folder in the Visual Studio Code. I have in here the index.html file. I'm running actually a live server, so this is just a Visual Studio Code extension so that when I save the index.html file, it automatically reloads this tab. Then I have the person image, but that's about it. So let me actually get started using another extension. So I will just write the exclamation mark, and it will generate sort of the very basic HTML document. In here we definitely want to link our CSS file, so I will just create a new folder called CSS, inside which I will put just the main.css, and we will link to it. So inside here in the header I will just type in here link, the relation being style sheet, like this, and let me also define the href to this. So href will be to CSS, main.css, and we can close this thing up, and that should be it. That should do the job. Alright, then what we need to do is get the font awesome for the icons. I've just typed into Google font awesome CSS link. I will just import it as a link using this thing. So I will just copy paste it in my project because I don't want to necessarily download and then import it. So I think that's even easier for you to just use this link. That's a better way to do it. Alright, then I will also import the railway font from Google Fonts. So inside here, let me just put in here the 400. Then let's just go with the 700. And let's just use also the 900 just to see how things look. So I will just copy paste this whole link once again somewhere in here. Bam, there it is. Nice. So what we also need to do is just put in the CSS into the main.css a tag. So in the whole body we will have the font family railway. That's about it. Nice. So let me just actually style the first of all style this input form. So inside the body, let me just add some sort of section. Let me give it a class of login, however you want to call this thing. Inside of this we will have a div with the class of login content, and inside of this we will have, well, first of all we will have some sort of div with the class of image, or however I want to call this, image container probably, inside of which we will have a image in the class of image fluid, and the source being this person one. And also let me just add this alt to this. I will leave that blank, but you should probably fill this up. Nice. Underneath we will have some sort of h2 heading. This will say just login. Then we will have some sort of form, inside of which we will have divs with the class of form input. So form input group, let's just call this thing form input group. Then we will have some sort of, where we will have some sort of icon. So icon with the class of FA user. So this should be just a simple icon displaying a user. Then underneath we should have, let's just go with some sort of input with the class of, you probably don't need class for this, so I will just close this thing up. And lastly we will also have a label. So label like this, and it will say something like username. Okay, cool. So let me just copy paste this whole thing and paste it underneath so that we have two of these. This one will say password, and let me also add the type to this input. Wow. So let me also add the type to this input. So type should be password, like this. Wow. What's happening? Password. Alright, I think that we also need to change this to, for example, lock. If I reload the page, there it is. Nice. So it seems like it's working, and let me also add a button at the end, the class of button main. We can also add some sort of different button, maybe like the radio button, like keep me signed in, but I will just keep it simple. So this one say just log in, and yeah, there it is. So currently it's working. Alright, so I think that we are ready to actually style this thing. So let me just go to the main.css, and I will use a tool that is right here. It's just uigradient.com. It generates automatically a gradient for you. It's a great tool that you may want to use if you want to put some sort of gradient on your website. So maybe in here you can just click on this add code, right? And then you can just copy paste this whole thing. I will just put this last line of code. That should do the trick. And if you feel like you want to change things up, you can just go through different kinds of themes. But I will just keep it this way, and let me actually style this section with this. So this whole section with the class of login will have this background color being this gradient. So like this, let's see if I will load the page. Alright, there it isn't. So what's happening? We put 2 semicolons in there, but that doesn't have. It should be maybe background. Yeah, there it is. Alright, so it should be background. Sorry about it. Let me also add margin 0 to this thing. Okay, so there should be maybe margin 0 to the body. Let's see. Okay, there it is. So let me actually move on to the login content. So login content. And I think I've called this login content. Let me just go back. Login content. Yeah, there it is. Nice. So what I will do is just set the background to this. So background color, and I will just make it white. So FFF like this. Let's see. All right. That's our whole content. So it's like overflowing this whole thing. But anyway, I will just say the width of this to be something around 40%. Nice. And the height to be, let's just go with 40 rems. Let's see how that would look like. Yeah, that's maybe too big, but we will see. Alright, so let me actually put a margin auto in here. So margin auto. So that should center it. Nice. And when I think, yeah, we probably need to add another div in here. So we will have a div with the class of container. Let's just call it container, and we will put this whole login content inside of this. So I will just control exit right in there. So it shouldn't change anything yet, but we will just add the container in here, and let's just add a padding of let's just go with 40 rem. Let's see how it looks like. Rem. All right, cannot write. Wow, there it is. So yeah, okay, that's too much, definitely. Let's just use something like 10 rems. Yeah, I think that this looks better, and we probably just want to use 10 rems on top, and from left and from right we just want to use 0. Maybe we may want to use just something even smaller than that. Yeah, let's just go with 5. I think that this looks alright actually. So let me just start by styling out, or let me just start out by adding some sort of padding to this. Let's just go with 2 rems. That's maybe too much, but let's see. There it is. This may be too much, but we will see. I will also target this image fluid. So this image fluid class will be, well, we will just say that the width of the image will be 100 pixels and the height will be also 100 pixels, and let's make it rounded. So border radius, and let's make it totally circle, so 50%, and let's see how it looks like. Yeah, there it is. Let's also use object fit in case you want to use some sort of image that have different aspect ratios, so different width and different height, so that it keeps the aspect ratio. Okay, let me actually with the login content align text to center. So text, text align, of course, text align to center like this, and let's see, there it is, much better. We may want to add a little bit of border to this. so border, yeah, and let's just have like 2 pixels, solid, and let's probably use some color from this whole gradient. So let's just use this green one, and let's see how it looks like. If I reload it, yeah, there it is. I think it looks nice. Let's just go with that. Also, let's style the heading, right? So the H2, I think it was. And let's just say that the color will be this whole thing. Let's also say that the font size will be 2 rems. And let's also say that the font weight will be 900. So it will be really bold. There it is. And let's also use the text transform. So text transform, and let's make it uppercase. Nice. So there it is. And we probably just want to change this color to the black one. So let's just use something like this. Yeah, I think that this looks better. And actually, let me just put it also in here. I think that this is better. Yeah. All right. So let me actually style out these. How did I call them? Form input group. All right. So form input group. So I will just target this class, and let me actually target the icon in there, and I will just say that the icon will have a font size of around 2 rems. Let's just go with 2 rems. Nice. That's maybe too much. Let's just go with something like 1.2 probably. Yeah, better. Let me also just target every one of these form groups, and let me just say that they will have some sort of background color. Let me just add some sort of background color to them. Let's just go with the green one. And let's also say that they will have a border radius of, let's just go with 25%. And let's see how that would look like. There it is. Okay, that's too much. Let's just go with 5%. All right, let me just add some sort of margin at the bottom. So margin bottom will be 1 rem, definitely. And let me also say that there will be a padding in this thing. Or no, let me just do the padding with these input groups. So for both of these, actually, for the input group and for the input, I will just have the font size being this thing, and let me also add some sort of padding to this. So I will just add 0.8 and 1 rem. So rem, and let's reload it. Yeah, there it is. Don't worry if it looks horrible for now. It probably should. Let me also just say that the background color of this thing will be the primary one. There it is. And let me also like remove the border. So border will be just 0. Oh, sorry, none. I'm not mistaken. Yeah, none. And let me maybe just add the border to bottom. So border bottom, and let's just add 1 pixel of the solid. Let's see how white would look like. Yeah, let's just go with white. And so that should do the trick. That should be white. We need to fix this sort of icon so that it's... Why is this happening? Why it isn't on one line? Right, so what might actually help is if I make this display flex. So if I make this flex, I think that this should align these properly. Yeah, there it is. And it looks actually fairly nice. It looks actually very nice. So let's just go with that. We can probably just say that the color will be the white one. Let's just go with that. Okay, that's better. We can maybe just add some sort of border on left to the icon. So let's just add a border on the right, sorry. So border right, 1 pixel, solid white, like this. And let's reload it. Yeah, there it is. Nice. And like overall, I think that this looks pretty good. We can maybe add some sort of padding to this thing. So let's just add some padding. Padding of, let's just go with 1 rem. That's maybe too much, probably too much, but we will see. Okay, that's too much padding. That's definitely too much padding. Let's see how what is 0.5 what or 0.4. There is 0.4. This border radius looks horrible. Let's just remove that. But overall, I think that this doesn't look bad at all. If we remove the padding from this thing, it would look maybe even better. Yeah, I think that we should probably go with this. So let me actually style the label. And the label will be the coolest thing that you ever see. So label. And I will just say that the position of this will be not relative, but absolute. And we will just say that it will be, well, the top is pretty close, so let's just say that 5 pixels away from the top, and the left will be, let's just say something like 30 pixels. Sorry. Yeah, position absolute top 5 pixels. What is happening if we remove this thing? Okay, so the top is the problem. Let's just go with 10. Alright. Let's just go with something like 1 rem. It isn't really seen. What's happening? Currently it's working. So let's just say that the top will be in 5%. It disappears. Why the hell it disappears? What's happening? So where's the label? Okay, it's somewhere on here. I didn't even see it. Okay. That's because the form group needs to be position relative. Okay, so inside here we need to add the position relative like this. Yeah, there it is. And yeah, then we have like top of, let's just go back with those 5 pixels. That's too much. Let's just go with 3 pixels. And let's actually make the font size a bit smaller. So font size will be 0.6 rems, something like that. That's maybe too small. 0.8. There it is. And let's also say that the left will be something like 30 pixels. Let's see. Okay, something a little bit more. Let's just go with 2.5 rems. Okay. 3.5, but that's my final offer. Yeah, there it is. Nice. And I think that this looks actually pretty cool. We can maybe just put it a little bit smaller. Let's just make it 0.7 so that it, yeah, I think that this looks better. And I think that overall this looks very nice. So let's just also style the button. So button main. And inside here, let me just say that the border will be 0 or none. Let me also say that the background color will be this primary color. And let me just put the color of this white one like this. And okay, let me also add some padding. So padding of 1 rem, 3 rem should do the trick. Obviously it should be like this. Yeah, there it is. Nice. We can maybe style it differently, so let me just maybe use this second color. Like this. Let's see. Okay, there it is. Yeah, you can also use maybe something black. I think that this looks actually the best. So let's just go with that. But overall, yeah, I think that we are pretty much done. We can maybe put some sort of forgot your password link, so href something, forgot password, and let me actually put it inside a paragraph. So I will just control exit inside the paragraph like this. Let's see, where do we have it? Yeah, there it is. And let me actually style it out so that the link will have the color of the black one. But I think that this is about it. That should just do the trick. I will leave it underlined. I think maybe let's just try it out. So if I use the text transform, the text decoration, and I will put none. it should remove the underlining. And let me also just try to change the font weight to something bolder. Okay, I think that this looks better actually, so let's just go with that. And let me also add the sort of social icons for the login. So underneath here I will have a div with the class of social login, and we will use like this sort of Facebook, Google login. So inside here I will just have some sort of, well, paragraphs, and or no, let me just use unordered list, inside of which we will have a different list items, and inside every list items we will have a link with some sort of href to the login. I will leave it blank, and inside of this we will have the icon with the class of Font Awesome, Facebook, and the other tech giants. So I will just move it a little bit, and let me just copy paste it a couple of times. So underneath here, paste and paste, and let me just move and actually change these to Google, and I don't know how you can log in. Let's just say Instagram or Twitter, probably. Yeah, let's just use Twitter. So let's see, we have Facebook, Google, Twitter. Nice. So let me actually style this whole thing. So I will just target the unordered list because I didn't add any class to it, and I will say that this will be display flex, like this. Save this thing. Yeah, there it is. Also, we don't want the list style, right? So list style, we wanted none. There it is, none. Save, there it is. Let me also target the list items. So every list item will have a padding of 1 rem. Just go, all right. And also in here, let me just say justify content, and let's put it on center. So there it is, nice. Yeah, and I think that this looks actually pretty cool, though for some reason it is not centered. Let me check. If I open up developer tools, we've got this whole thing where the unordered list have padding. Yeah, it have a padding by default. Stupid browser, we don't want any padding. Padding will be 0, and there it is, it's centered, nice. So what you may want to do is just say that, for example, it will have a background color of background color of this primary color. Let's see how that would look like. Yeah, there it is. You could maybe add some sort of margin of 0, and let's just use something like 0.2 rem. Let's see, there it is. Yeah, you could maybe put just 0.2 rem on every direction. Yeah, but with all of that, you could probably add a little bit more padding on the y-axis. So let's just use 1.5 rem. Yeah, there it is. I think that this looks actually pretty cool. You could maybe just change the font size of this to something like 1.2 rems. Let's see how 1.2 rem looks like. Yeah, there it is. And you could probably just change the color of these so that it actually matches these companies, but I will just leave it blank, leave it up to you to actually figure this out. But yeah, I think, I'm not sure why this is so large. That's probably because we've added some sort of padding, right? Where it is. So container, right? So let's just, there's so much padding in here. Wow, let me just check this thing. That's odd. So we have a container, but it's like really huge, this login content. Of course, it has a height of 100%, right? Where it is login content. Height of 40 rem, of course, that's too much. Let's just make it 30. Or let's just see how auto would look like. Yeah, I think auto is better. Let's just go with auto, and let me just change the whole container thing so that we have a little bit more. Yeah, that's better. So yeah, I think that this looks actually very cool. Let's just go with that, and let's see how it looks like on a mobile phone. So if I click on this magic button, you can see that it looks horrible. So let's just fix that. So I will just go down here, And inside here I will just add the media query, and I will say the max width will be something like 500 pixels. So anything smaller than 500 pixels, some settings will apply. Now, what is the biggest problem? So let me just go here and check out. Well, we definitely need this login content to have the width of 100%, right? Or at least something like 90%. So let's just change it. So login content, we'll have the width. So width of, let's just try 90%. Let's see how that would look like. Yeah, there it is. Okay, then what else? There is some sort of margin in here. That's really odd. What's that? We have container, and then inside, yeah, this thing. So login content have padding, of course. Let's just remove this padding. So padding, and let me actually just use 5% so that it fits the screen. Yeah, there it is. Nice. And we are pretty much done. So that wasn't too much work, but I think that this looks actually pretty nice. So let's just go with that. Okay, so if you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe to this channel if you want to see more videos like this one, and I will see you next time. Bye.